Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Brandon Meeks reporting to y'all from my car today. Figured I would just go ahead and shoot a video from here as opposed to just waiting until I could be at home, because I'm kind of on the go. It's kind of been a thing over these last few days, just kind of moving around a lot. So I'm reporting from the car today. But anyway, I want to talk to y'all about ethics when it comes to having to get out of a gig. As y'all probably know, my channel is more so to help musicians, especially like up and coming musicians, and some of us that's been doing it for a while, but may want to just revisit the fundamentals. So on this topic of ethics when it comes to rescheduling shows or having to break a commitment, there's a certain way that you have to go about doing things. A typical scenario is that you'll have a musician that's working as a sideman, and they'll accept a performance with somebody, and they'll book the date, and then a better opportunity will come along, or something that's, for whatever reason, seems like a better opportunity, and they'll break the first commitment and take the thing that seems to be more beneficial. Of course, this is something, as you become better at your instrument and build your reputation, this is something that you can't avoid, because you're going to get more and more requests, and it's just going to, the nature of it is that you're going to start to get multiple requests for the same day. So you do have to make your choices about like what you're going to do and what is going to have the best, what's going to be the best option when taking shows. But there's always a right way to go about doing things and a wrong way to go about doing things. And this is where a lot of musicians really drop the ball, and you'll see people that are like world-class musicians that really can't maintain working relationships, or they can kind of get themselves like blacklisted and just can't really get a gig, even though they're like the most incredible players. It's because their approach in handling situations like this. So basically, like when you're faced with an opportunity where you have to let somebody else down in order to take another opportunity, you have to apply ethics in the way you handle it. First thing you have to do is look at the long-term benefits of your decision versus the short-term benefits, and you also have to look at like what's going to be the effect of your actions on other people. Because there's situations like, say you have like a steady gig at like a small jazz club, you play there every week, it's kind of like background music, and you do 52 performances there every year, just on an off night like a Monday or Tuesday. Well, canceling on something like that and just getting a replacement is going to be a lot different than canceling like a tour date with somebody and putting them in a bind to where they're in a market that's outside of their local area, and now they're scrambling trying to find a replacement. So you have to like look at like what position you're going to put the band leader in by canceling, and then you have to look at like the long-term benefit versus the short-term benefit. Like if you're working with somebody that regularly hires you, and say if you were to do the math and total up all the shows they call you for, and it's like over $10,000 a year, it wouldn't make sense to cancel out on them and put them in a bind for maybe for a show that's maybe with somebody that's a bigger name, but they're only wanting to use you as a fill-in, as a one-off opportunity. So you might get the exposure of playing with that bigger name, but it's highly unlikely that they're going to use you on a regular basis, whereas you have somebody that's giving you like $10,000 worth of work annually. It's like you don't want to put that relationship, you don't want to put strain on that relationship just for a one-off show. So it's always a matter of looking carefully at the decisions that you make when you have to cancel. If you look at the situation and it seems like, well, your primary responsibility when you have to do that is that you should take it upon yourself to find a suitable replacement for you. You don't want it's already stressful enough for you to cancel out on a show, so you don't want to put unnecessary stress on the band leader just because of you not being considerate or just only thinking of yourself. So you want to take it upon yourself to go ahead and find a suitable replacement and make a suggestion and have that in place before you even make the call to cancel out. And then, like I said, you want to make sure that what you're doing is not going to put such a strain on the band leader that it's going to come back and mar your reputation. If you go ahead and cancel out on the show and then the band leader is left to feel like, oh, well, I don't know if I should continue using this person because I know if they'll put the date down, but if a better opportunity comes along, they're just going to cancel out. So it's more beneficial to that person to just get somebody who is more inclined to just honor their commitments. So like I said, you have to be careful in how you go about things and just weigh out the pros and cons carefully before just making a decision. It's always more complex than which gig is paying more or which gig is with a person that has what I perceive to be a bigger name. Because you gotta again, you have to be able to read kind of like reading to the future. The person you taking a gig with that has a bigger name now, they may be on the decline while the person that you're canceling out on is on the rise. So maybe by this time 2 years from now, you may need that first person for an opportunity that person that had a bigger name before, they're not in that circle anymore. They can't get those opportunities anymore. So my point is it's always a complex decision when you go to break a commitment. The ideal thing is to avoid breaking commitments as much as possible, keep it to a minimum. But when you have to break a commitment and go back on your word, you have to handle that situation in a very delicate manner because your reputation's on the line. But that's all I want to talk about as far as that's concerned. If you agree, leave some comments, let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, check me out on Patreon. I'm over there, so if you want to support my channel and just help me keep this thing rolling, I'd really appreciate it. But I'll talk to you guys soon, and peace, y'all.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, please check me out over on Patreon. For just as little as $1 a month, you can help me reach new people, tour new cities, and broaden my audience. Plus, you'll get access to all my hidden music. So hit me up over there, and I'll holler at y'all later. Thanks.